Hey folks, Vic here with your weekly trade video for Friday, August the 8th, 2025. You know, if you've ever felt overwhelmed by too many trade setups, conflicting strategies, whatever, just overwhelmed, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to show you real proof of the one setup that I personally used and taught for nearly 20 years. Okay, so this isn't some new, idea that we cooked up last week or anything. It's a battle-tested strategy that's been delivering solid and consistent results for like nearly 2 decades. In fact, just this past week, and just August 7th as I'm recording this, I posted 5 scalp trades based on this very setup. One of them ran for over a 6-to-1 reward risk unscaled. Okay, I wish they all ran like that, but this one happened to really get going. That's the kind of edge that this setup offers. And obviously, I'm not saying that you would get 6-to-1 because of differences in trade management, of course, but these trades can be super, super powerful. They work on any time frame, any style of trading. I don't care if you're a swing trader or a micro scalper, no problem. And here's something important. Darko and I have decided that we've been chatting about our business and talking about ways that we can bring people up to speed faster and to consistent profitability. And this is going to be this setup is going to be our main focus going forward. Why? Because we want to give our traders the best possible chance to become consistently profitable in the shortest amount of time. Fewer distractions, more clarity, better results. Okay? In fact, this is the approach that Darko took himself back in 2016, and it completely transformed his trading. So if that sounds like the kind of trading that you're after, just take a look at this video, and if you're ready to learn this setup and trade it with us, we'd love to have you with us. Just hit the link below and join the community. Like I say, we'd love to have you with us and work with you. And be sure to like and share the video and subscribe to our channel and all that. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at the setup. Okay, so the trade setup is what I've always called divergence, or sometimes a head and shoulders pattern, or what Darko calls swing break rotation, or sometimes just a swing break. There's little nuances, little differences between them, but they're basically the same setup where we get some structure damage in a trend, and it's really important to watch for. So, whatever you want to call it, we use all forms of it. It's a great indication that price is about to change direction, and as I said, it's a very, very reliable indicator, and they can really get moving. So let me show you. I'll just show you one of the 5 trades that's set up over the past few days that I mentioned in the intro. And this one was from August the 6th, and was on the British pound Australian dollar pair. And they're quite easy to pick these up once you get used to looking at them. I won't go through all the nitty-gritty details, but we were at a level on our daily chart, because we're using the daily, the 4-hour, and the 15-minute chart for our entry. So the daily and the 4-hour show us kind of our higher time frame where we're at. And in this case here, on our 4-hour chart, you can see what had happened. We'd started getting into this range here where we're bumping up and down against this. Once you get this high established, well, you know that that's a place to look for. Here it is again. Oh, look what happened. Here it is again. It rejected a little bit and then went flying straight up. When it comes to the bottom, same thing. What do you do when you get to the bottom? You look for this pattern. Okay. So the one on the 6th was right here. Price came down. It's been here before. Here. And here, and here, had a little, this is a Sunday gap. Here again, a little wick touch here. What did it do on the 15-minute entry time frame? That's the question, okay? That's all we need to do is establish where these levels are at, these great levels, and then observe if we have a setup. Here's the setup. See how price is making lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and down, and then look what happens down here. Price makes a lower low, lower close, hits our support, and bounces and makes a higher high, higher close. That is a swing break, and it's a rotation. So now what we want to do is we want to buy retracement, and there's different levels to buy it at, but just the way I do it, we needed about a 13 pip risk, and this is the one that made about a 6-to-1 reward risk move. So and you have various places to take profit along the way. There's Fibonacci extensions. But looking at opposing levels, like on the 4-hour chart, here was our after you got in here, it rallied up here. We didn't really hit any opposing levels until up into here, but price came all the way back down again, but you got a huge profit in the meantime. Okay, so that was on the 6th. Today, when it hit down that same level, it came down here. I'll just show you this. Was there a pattern? No, it just hit and went straight up. It couldn't do anything. By the way, I want to show you something else. On the 4-hour chart, you'll notice that price had come up here, right, and here after establishing here. How about if we look back into here on our 15-minute chart? Was there a trade set up when it hit the top of that channel? And if we scroll this back, what a nice little setup. Here's that resistance line. Price was making higher highs, higher lows, another higher high, and then look at this. See how we had the structure damage where price came down, took out this low, closed below it. After closing above it, that's another swing rate rotation for a sell. What a huge move down that was. So, so these are from, like I say, this was from, what was that on? That was on the 5th, and the very next day was another beauty. So let me do something. I'm just going to pause the recording for a sec here. I want to show you some trades from 17 years ago. Just stand by. Okay, so this I used to take screenshots of my trades when I was first. I started at Forex Mentor, and I started the Coach's Corner in 2006, and then shortly after I came up with these divergence trades. And these ones I didn't even call them a swing rate rotation. Darko calls them that, and they're fantastic trades. And you can see how price is going higher here, but the peaks in the MACD are going lower. And then we have specific rules how this has to set up. Here is a sell and a nice move down here. This is I kept these old screenshots all these years. This is 5th of May 2008, set up really well on the Euro Yen with all the things going for it that we like to see on the higher time frames. I haven't changed anything, folks. I've been trading these higher time frames ever since I started at Forex Mentor almost 20 years ago. That was on the Euro Yen. Here was an Aussie US dollar pair in May of that same year. Higher highs in price. See how price goes up, comes down, goes up, and then has this big huge drop here and takes out all these lows. And look what the MACD was doing at the same time. This is on the 15-minute chart. Okay, the one I just showed you on the British pound Australian dollar pair. Here's where you sell. There's a move down. Didn't keep going down, but there's no way this would be a losing trade using our trade management, which we explain all of that. And then I'll show you this one here. This was on the British pound. This was back in January of 2008, and more higher highs. And then this move down here took out all these lows here. You see that? So you're selling a rally. But look what, as price was going higher, look what the peaks in the MACD were doing. See how they were going down? Boy, this is really retro, I'll tell you that. This is my old charting platform, FX Trek IntelliCharts. Boy, this takes me back. But anyway, you get the idea. Was another one here? Oh, yeah, here's one more here. British pound US, this is in July of later on that year. So price going down, the MACD was going up. Price broke above this high in here, pulled back to our entry level, and straight up. Fantastic trade. So look, I tell you, one thing that is critically important is that you understand the concept of context. And this is what Darko has brought to the table. It's just so powerful. He does an amazing job of analysis for our members and really stacking the odds further into your favor by putting everything into context on our higher time frames. And that's something that he does a masterful job of. And of course, he does several pre-market analysis, PMA videos every week, showing these kind of levels on the different currency pairs and the possible setups. And you can use these levels to zero in on to look for trades on any time frame. They're very, very helpful. So you can imagine, the whole thing, and just imagine using that context together with these patterns. And let's say you didn't do anything else, no other patterns, just this one pattern. I'll tell you something that maybe you already know, and I mentioned this earlier actually. I think that when Darko's trading really took off, which was in 2016, you know how he did it? He stopped chasing everything, and he only traded just one pattern. And actually, he only traded one currency pair, and he did this for an entire year. That takes, tremendous discipline and a very strong will. So Darko and I have been, like I said earlier, we've been chatting about this and how super successful that was for him. And we decided that hey, let's just focus on this one pattern for our clients, both long-term and short-term, and nothing else. And they can, trade this pattern on as many pairs as they feel comfortable with. It's a super easy pattern to learn, and you can very quickly learn how to spot it quite easily. And the most exciting part about this is that it will greatly, greatly speed up your progress toward becoming a stage 4 trader. Like, I mean, a lot. Instead of taking, 6 months to a year, you can generally be looking at a few months or less. I mean, maybe you can do it within a month. I don't know. But depending on your personal time availability and your own determination, it's a big deal, of course. But this is about as easy as trading gets, in my humble opinion. Okay. Hey, by the way, before I close out, I'd love to hear from you. If you could only trade one setup, just one setup for the rest of your trading career, what would it be and why? Let me know. Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on this. So if you're tired of chasing too many setups and you want to master one, just one, that actually works, this is your chance. Darko and I are all in on this approach, and we're helping our members do the same. If you're serious about becoming a consistently profitable trader, all you need to do is join us, and we'll be right there to help you along the way. There's a join link in the text below this video or in the email that you received. And by the way, rather than our regular pricing, we've decided to kick this thing off by offering you our podcast special link, which gives you a nice discount as our way of thanking those who want to join with us now. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we look very forward to having you join us.